Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself waiting for a reply that never comes? Have you ever felt the sting of being ignored by someone you care about? It's painful, frustrating, and can make you question your worth. But let me tell you this, when a man ignores you, don't break down, level up. The worst thing you can do is chase after someone who chooses to be distant. Instead, turn your focus inward and take control of your emotions and your life. Today I'm going to tell you exactly what to do when a man ignores you. When a man pulls away and starts ignoring you, the immediate reaction for many is to chase after him. Sending multiple texts, calling repeatedly, or questioning what went wrong. But let me tell you, chasing is the worst thing you can do in this situation. When someone withdraws their attention, your natural instinct may be to seek reassurance, to demand answers, or to try and restore the connection as quickly as possible. However, the more you chase, the more you push him away. Men, like anyone else, need space. Sometimes when they pull away, it's not necessarily about you. It could be work stress, personal struggles, or even an internal battle they don't know how to express. But whether the reason is temporary or more serious, your response matters more than the reason itself. Instead of panicking or overanalyzing every detail, step back and give him the room to process whatever he's dealing with. Stepping back doesn't mean you don't care. It means you respect yourself enough to not beg for someone's attention. It means you understand that relationships should be mutual, not one-sided. When you stop chasing, you create a sense of mystery and independence that can actually reignite interest. A man will start to wonder why you aren't running after him, and in many cases he will come back on his own. Think of it like this. When you chase, you signal that his validation is more important than your self-respect. When you step back, you show that you have a life beyond him, far beyond him. You become someone he values rather than someone he takes for granted. This approach also allows you to observe his actions rather than his words. If a man truly cares about you, he will notice the distance and make an effort to bridge the gap. But if he continues to ignore you, then his actions are telling you everything you need to know. Instead of spending energy trying to force communication, use this time to focus on yourself. Shift your attention to your passions, your goals, and the people who genuinely appreciate you. When a man realizes that you are not easily available and that your world doesn't revolve around him, he will either step up or step out of the way. Either way, you win. So next time you find yourself tempted to chase after someone who is ignoring you, pause. Remind yourself of your worth. The right person will never make you feel like you have to beg for their time. When a man starts ignoring you, it's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking, doubting yourself, and waiting anxiously for his attention to return. However, the most powerful response is to shift the focus away from him and back onto yourself. Instead of wasting time wondering why he's distant, use this moment to prioritize yourself and elevate your life. Self-prioritization is not about playing games or making him jealous. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to put your happiness in someone else's hands. Too often, women invest so much energy into a relationship that they lose sight of their personal growth, dreams, and individuality. When a man ignores you, that's your signal to redirect your energy toward becoming the best version of yourself. Start by nurturing your passions. What makes you feel alive? What are the things you used to love doing before you became so focused on him? Whether it's art, fitness, traveling, learning a new skill, or excelling in your career, now is the time to pour your heart into your own happiness. The more fulfilled you are on your own, the less you will depend on external validation to feel complete. Prioritizing yourself also means taking care of your mental and emotional well-being. Instead of allowing his silence to make you feel unworthy, remind yourself that your value does not decrease just because someone fails to see it. Practice self-love by engaging in activities that bring you peace and confidence. Whether it's journaling, meditating, or surrounding yourself with uplifting people who remind you of your worth. Another key aspect of self-prioritization is maintaining your independence. A woman who is deeply rooted in her own life is attractive, not only to others but also to herself. And you have your own goals, passions, and social life. You naturally become less affected by whether or not one particular man is giving you attention. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful because it prevents you from feeling desperate or needy. Moreover, when a man sees that you are not sitting around waiting for him, that you are busy living your best life, he will take notice. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate confidence and fulfillment. Instead of being the woman who is desperate for his attention, become the woman he admires, respects, and fears losing. At the end of the day, prioritizing yourself is about reclaiming your power. When you focus on your own well-being, personal growth, and happiness, you naturally create a life that is fulfilling. With or without him, when a man ignores you, the natural reaction may be to seek answers, demand his attention, or even beg for an explanation. However, one of the most important things you can do in this situation is maintain your dignity. No matter how much you care about him, never allow someone's lack of attention to make you act in a way that compromises your self-respect. Dignity is about holding yourself to a standard where you do not settle for less than what you deserve. It's about recognizing that your worth is not tied to how someone else treats you. If a man chooses to ignore you, chasing after him, pleading for his time, or lowering your standards to accommodate his neglect only makes you appear desperate. Desperation is never attractive. It diminishes your power and makes the other person feel like they can take you for granted. Instead of acting out of emotion, take a step back and evaluate the situation logically. Ask yourself, has he shown a pattern of ignoring you, or is this a temporary situation? Is he treating you the way you deserve to be treated, or are you making excuses for him? Are you over-investing in someone who is giving you little in return? Maintaining your dignity means refusing to beg for his attention. It means not sending paragraph after paragraph trying to get a response. It means not stalking his social media, not leaving emotional voicemails, and not showing up uninvited just to get a reaction. Silence is an answer in itself. If someone chooses to withdraw, respect their choice and focus on yourself instead of forcing a connection that may no longer be there. Another important aspect of maintaining dignity is controlling your emotions. When you feel ignored, it's easy to act impulsively, maybe by lashing out in anger, posting cryptic messages on social media, or trying to make him jealous. But these actions rarely bring the result you want. Instead of making him respect or miss you, they often make you look insecure. A dignified woman does not need to prove her worth to someone who is not paying attention. Furthermore, when you maintain your dignity, you send a strong message. You are valuable, and you will not lower your standards just to keep someone in your life. If a man respects you, he will not make you feel neglected. And if he doesn't respect you, no amount of chasing will change that. Holding on to your dignity also means recognizing when it's time to walk away. Sometimes people show you exactly how they feel through their actions. If someone consistently ignores you, believe them the first time. A self-respecting woman does not waste time trying to convince someone to appreciate her. She knows that the right person will never put her in a position where she has to question her worth. When a man ignores you, one of the worst mistakes you can make is putting all your energy, time, and emotions into waiting for him to come back. You might find yourself checking your phone constantly, hoping for a message, or overanalyzing every interaction to figure out what went wrong. But the truth is, no one person should hold that much power over your happiness. Instead of focusing all your attention on someone who is pulling away, you should keep your options open and diversify your emotional investments. Keeping your options open doesn't necessarily mean jumping into another relationship immediately, but it does mean that you should never allow one person's behavior to dictate your self-worth. But relationships should be built on mutual effort and respect. If one person is not reciprocating your energy, it's a sign that you should not be limiting yourself. By keeping your options open, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You recognize that there are plenty of people out there who would appreciate and value your presence. Instead of waiting around for someone who is ignoring you, you explore new social opportunities, meet new people, and engage in activities that expand your world. The more you do this, the less dependent you become on any one person for validation and happiness. This also means expanding your social circle and making meaningful connections outside of romantic relationships. Spend time with friends, build new friendships, network professionally, and engage in hobbies that introduce you to new people. When your life is full and dynamic, the absence of one person does not feel as devastating. Another key reason to keep your options open is to avoid settling for less than you deserve. When you fixate on one person, especially someone who is ignoring you, you risk overlooking red flags or making excuses for their behavior. Instead of waiting for them to change or hoping that they will realize your worth, remind yourself that there are people out there who will see your value without you having to prove it. Additionally, keeping your options open shifts the power dynamic in your favor. When a man senses that you are not waiting around for him and that you have other people who value your time, he may start to see you in a new light. People often want what they think they might lose. When you become someone who is not easily available, you naturally increase your desirability. Ultimately, keeping your options open is about recognizing your own worth and refusing to settle for half-hearted attention. The right person will never leave you feeling like an option. And when you embrace the mindset that you have choices, you empower yourself to attract the relationships that truly align with your happiness and well-being. When a man ignores you, your emotions may go into overdrive. You might feel confused, frustrated, or even hurt. The natural instinct is to demand answers, to text him repeatedly, call him, or try to find out what's going on. But before you do any of that, take a step back and approach the situation with clarity and confidence. And confidence. The best course of action is to communicate your feelings once, clearly and directly, and then let it go. Many people make the mistake of trying to force a response. They send long emotional messages, ask mutual friends about him, or continuously reach out in hopes of getting a reaction. But the reality is, if someone is ignoring you, excessive communication won't bring them closer. It will only push them further away. That's why it's essential to express yourself once, with dignity. When you decide to communicate, keep your message short, direct, and confident. Avoid overly emotional or dramatic wording. Instead, be calm and assertive. You could say something like, "Hey, I've noticed some distance between us. If something's wrong, I'd appreciate honesty. If you need space, I respect that. Just let me know where we stand." This type of message shows emotional intelligence and self-respect. It lets him know that you're aware of his behavior, you're open to communication, but you are not going to chase him or tolerate being ignored indefinitely. Once you've sent this message, the key is to let it go. Do not send follow-ups asking why he hasn't responded. Do not double text. Do not overanalyze whether he read your message but didn't reply. This is where self-control comes into play. If he values you, he will respond in a meaningful way. Not, if he continues to ignore you, then you have your answer. His silence speaks volumes. By communicating once and letting it go, you also protect your own peace of mind. Instead of dwelling on uncertainty, you give yourself the clarity you need. You won't spend days wondering whether you should reach out again because you already did your part. If he chooses not to respond, that's a reflection of him, not you. Furthermore, this approach puts the responsibility back on him. If he genuinely cares about you, he will recognize your maturity and respect the fact that you're not playing games. But if he doesn't care enough to reply, then you've saved yourself from wasting more energy on someone who isn't willing to reciprocate your efforts. People often regret over-communicating in situations like this. They send desperate messages in the heat of emotion, only to later feel embarrassed or regretful. But when you communicate once and walk away, you demonstrate emotional control and confidence, qualities that not only make you more attractive, but also allow you to maintain your self-respect. At the core of this principle is the belief that you deserve clarity, honesty, and respect. You should never have to beg someone to acknowledge you. If someone truly values you, they will make an effort to communicate, no matter what they're going through. If they don't, then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. When a man ignores you, it's easy to take it personally. You might start questioning yourself, wondering what you did wrong, or even blaming yourself for his lack of attention. But here's the truth. His behavior is not a reflection of your worth. Instead of letting his silence make you feel insecure or desperate, this is the time to build emotional strength and take control of your feelings. Emotional strength is the ability to remain calm, confident, and self-assured, even in situations that trigger negative emotions. It means not allowing someone else's actions, or lack thereof, to dictate how you feel about yourself. The stronger you become emotionally, the less power someone else has over your happiness. The first step in building emotional strength is self-awareness. Pay attention to how you're feeling, but don't let those emotions control your actions. If you're feeling anxious or rejected because he's ignoring you, take a step back and ask yourself, is my reaction based on reality? Or am I making assumptions? Am I tying my happiness to his attention? What can I do right now to shift my focus away from him and back onto myself? By analyzing your thoughts, you take control of them instead of letting them spiral into overthinking and insecurity. Another crucial aspect of emotional strength is self-validation. When you rely on someone else's attention to feel valued, you give away your power. Instead of looking for validation from him, find it within yourself. Remind yourself of your worth, your strengths, and what makes you unique. Write down affirmations, practice self-care, and engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself. When you build self-confidence, you no longer seek it from external sources. It's also important to accept uncertainty. One of the hardest things to deal with is not knowing why someone is ignoring you, or what will happen next. But emotional strength means being okay with not having all the answers. Instead of chasing clarity from him, focus on being at peace with the unknown. Tell yourself, whatever happens, I will be fine. If he comes back, great. If he doesn't, I will still be happy. This mindset shift will keep you from feeling desperate or needy. Developing emotional strength also means setting boundaries. If someone is ignoring you repeatedly, recognize that this is a form of emotional neglect. A self-respecting woman does not tolerate being treated as an afterthought. If his behavior is making you feel unimportant, you have every right to protect your energy by stepping away. Your emotional well-being should always come first. Another powerful tool for building emotional strength is perspective. In the grand scheme of your life, will this situation matter in a year? 5 years? Probably not. When you take a broader view, you realize that one person's actions do not define your happiness or future. There are billions of people in the world, and the right one will never make you feel invisible. Ultimately, emotional strength is about controlling what you can, your thoughts, reactions, and self-worth, while letting go of what you can't, someone else's actions. The stronger you become emotionally, the less you will tolerate behavior that makes you feel small. You will no longer feel the need to chase, beg, or prove your worth. Instead, you will stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough with or without his attention. When a man starts ignoring you, it's natural to feel confused and wonder what went wrong. You might feel tempted to reach out repeatedly, demand answers, or try to fix whatever you think caused the distance. But instead of overreacting or overcompensating for his behavior, the best thing you can do is match his energy. If he pulls away, you do the same. If he stops texting, don't text him either. If he isn't making an effort, neither should you. Matching his energy isn't about playing games or being petty. It's about respecting yourself enough to not overextend for someone who isn't doing the same for you. When one person is constantly giving while the other is pulling away, it creates an unhealthy dynamic where one person holds all the power and the other is left feeling anxious and insecure. You don't want to be the one over-investing while he gets to decide when to acknowledge you. By mirroring his behavior, you send a clear message. You are not desperate for his attention. If he's acting distant, you won't chase him. If he ignores your messages, you won't double text. If he isn't prioritizing you, you won't rearrange your life for him. This approach allows you to maintain your dignity while also gauging his true level of interest. One important reason why matching his energy works is that it forces him to experience the consequences of his actions. If he's used to you always being available, always reaching out first, or always accommodating his inconsistent behavior, he has no reason to change. But when you step back and mirror his distance, he starts to feel your absence. He may begin to wonder why you aren't chasing him like he expected. He may start questioning whether you've lost interest, or if someone else has captured your attention. This subtle shift can make him realize that he cannot take you for granted. Additionally, matching his energy protects your emotional well-being. Instead of constantly giving and receiving nothing in return, you regain control of your emotions and prevent unnecessary disappointment. You no longer sit around waiting for his response or overanalyzing his silence. Instead, you focus on yourself, your happiness, and the people who actually value your presence. It's important to note that matching his energy is not about being passive-aggressive or trying to manipulate him. It's simply about responding, not reacting. If he reaches out and puts in effort, you can reciprocate. But if he remains distant, then you maintain your position instead of trying to force something that isn't mutual. This mindset shift also helps you to weed out people who aren't truly interested in you. If a man is genuinely interested, but just needed some space, he will notice your withdrawal and make an effort to reconnect. But if he doesn't care, he will continue being distant, and that's a clear sign that you deserve better. Either way, you get clarity on where you stand. The bottom line is this: and never overextend for someone who is giving you the bare minimum. If a man pulls away, meet him where he is. If he comes back, fine, but make sure he comes back with effort. If he doesn't, then he was never truly invested in the first place, and you just saved yourself from wasting your time on someone who wasn't meant for you. When a man ignores you, it's easy to become consumed with thoughts about him, why he's being distant, what you did wrong, and how to get his attention back. However, the most powerful thing you can do in this situation is shift your focus entirely onto yourself and elevate your life in every possible way. Instead of obsessing over his absence, use this as an opportunity to glow up. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. A glow up isn't just about physical appearance. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in every aspect of life. It's about leveling up your confidence, your goals, your happiness, and your overall well-being. When you do this, you naturally attract better experiences, people, and opportunities without having to chase them. Start by taking care of your mental and emotional health. If you feel hurt by his silence, allow yourself to process those emotions, but don't let them consume you. Harder. Let them consume you. Instead of drowning in self-doubt, practice self-love and self-compassion. Engage in mindfulness, journaling, or meditation to strengthen your emotional resilience. Remind yourself daily that your happiness does not depend on one person's attention. Next, focus on your physical glow up. This doesn't mean you have to completely change your look, but making small improvements in your appearance can boost your confidence and make you feel unstoppable. Take care of your skin, switch up your wardrobe, hit the gym, or try a new hairstyle. When you look good, you feel good, and that confidence radiates in everything you do. But a true glow-up goes beyond just appearance. It's about your mindset and energy. Instead of feeling powerless because a man is ignoring you, take control of your own happiness. Set new goals, whether they are personal, career-related, or fitness-oriented. Learn something new. Start a passion project. Explore activities that bring you joy. When you are busy improving your own life, you naturally stop worrying about someone who isn't making an effort to be in it. Another important part of leveling up is surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people. Spend time with friends and family who appreciate you. Meet new people who inspire and support you. Landa. When you build a fulfilling social life, you no longer feel the need to chase after someone who isn't showing up for you. One of the most attractive things about a person is their ambition and sense of purpose. Instead of waiting around for a text from him, invest in your future. Work on your career, develop your skills, and build the life you've always wanted. When you're focused on your own growth, you become the kind of person who naturally attracts high-value connections, people who see your worth and match your energy. Another key aspect of a glow-up is embracing self-worth and setting higher standards. The more you elevate yourself, the less tolerance you will have for people who treat you as an option. You'll realize that you deserve consistent effort, communication, and respect. You won't waste time on someone who is inconsistent or uncertain about you. Instead, you'll attract people who recognize your value without you having to prove it. As you continue leveling up, you might notice something interesting. The man who ignored you may suddenly start paying attention again. When he sees you thriving, looking confident, and moving on without him, he may realize what he lost. But by that time, you might not even care anymore. Because the most important glow-up isn't about getting his attention back. It's about becoming so fulfilled in your own life that you no longer need his attention at all.